8:31 a.m. Sunday, January 7th, 2024. Wade Allen Heineman, half mile north of Fairbank, Iowa on V68. Been home since I got groceries January 5th at approximately, what time to get home? About 3 p.m. That day also, my cat came back this morning. The other one, it's not the one from November 16th. That one's still missing. The black and white one, the long haired one's still missing. But the other one that I reported on x.com/WADES2ND is still, it did come back this morning. I'm noting on those cats because I believe, the fraud group to the north of me on V68 would be using the one cat to lure people to them, especially women or females, because I've posted that cat on my account since summertime. Actually, since late 2022, I think I had him in some of my email or some of my videos and pictures. So that's why I note that. I've been wearing my black and white hoodie since I got home and settled in on the 5th again from getting groceries. My father picked me up that day, but when he picked me up, we drove over to the Red and White Barn Home. He stayed at their Red and White Barn Home, which is half mile west of me, and then I drove around to the bank. I first went to Fairbank USPS. I went to the post office, then Casey's gas station. Then I looped back around, went to the Orrin Food Pantry, then to Reedland Bank. And when I looped around from Fairbank, I saw my father going north on V68 with his Dodge Ram pickup. It's a white Dodge Ram, newer late model Dodge Ram. And then, so I went to, after I saw him, I went to Orrin Free Food Pantry, then Reedland Bank. Then I came back around, went to Yoder's Amish store, then over to Owine Quick Star, then to Owine Dollar Tree, then back to Fairbank to Dollar General, and then back home. By that time, it was 3 p.m. I got cash at Reedland Bank and picked up my statements that they keep there. And I spent my $50 cash at from my father. He gave me $50 for Christmas sometime in December, middle of December. I spent that at Yoder's Amish store. And I note that because frauds will sometimes take that, they'll get cash back. They'll spend like $100 bill somewhere so they can get the cash that I just spent, or, a crooked cashier will give them the cash that I just spent. And then because my money sometimes gets tracked by whoever's doing these things, tracking my money, and I've never done anything nefarious, but as soon as that cash goes into circulation, obviously it can get into the hands of the sabotage network, whoever, they all know me around here. All the cashiers know who I am. Immediately when I walk in, they all know who I am. So, that network of people, whether they're good or bad, depending on that, if I give the cashier cash, they can immediately give it to sabotage network, or they could be the sabotage network claiming I gave them money for whatever they claim I gave them money for. But I wanted to note I accidentally left some baking flour in here from Yoder's Amish store. So in case they're trying to say somehow that that's drugs or something, that's why I noted that on my x.com accounts, because the Gestapo, I call them, that come in here and always tell lies about me or exaggerate the truth about my home, and then or don't include the whole truth that I haven't had running water for 5 years, and then make little judgments about me having a mess and not cleaning up things, or not have it, that I don't have a functioning bathroom or kitchen for 5 years, and then they say that I'm crazy because of things that I do. If I pee in bottles, and that isn't meth lab stuff. That's me peeing in a bottle because I don't have a functional bathroom. Think about it. What are you going to do if you don't have a functional bathroom because you have no running water? You can't pee in the toilet because it'll freeze in the winter, because I don't have adequate heat either. I don't have adequate heat or electricity for 5+ years. So you're going to pee in a bottle or you're going to pee outside. And then they say I'm peeing in public if I pee outside sometimes. That's not public. I'm on private property, and I'm always shielding myself from the road. There's nobody ever here, so I'm never peed in public. I'm peeing on private property, but there's only a couple ways you can handle that situation when you have no running water and no adequate electricity or heat for 5+ years. So they don't include those facts when they assess me. The quote Gestapo that break in and assess me what my property is. But I've never had a handgun in my entire life. Never had access to a handgun. That was, I believe, possibly lied about. I've never had a rifle in my entire life. I don't know about that one. But it's when they were indicating the handgun, I might as well say rifle because I've never had a rifle either. Never pointed a gun at anybody. I haven't had a gun in my hand in years, like over 3 at least. And I've never pointed a gun at anybody. I've only used a shotgun for deer hunting. I've not seen my gun in over 3 years. It could be in the mess of the camper, but I looked around in there where it's supposed to be, and it's not in there. So I know the frauds have been in my camper, so I don't know where it is. I can't report things regularly to Fayette County Sheriff's Department, and since I don't know how long it's been missing, I don't want to. I did tell them at one point I don't know where my shotgun is, but it's been over 3 years since I've seen it, so I suppose I could call up and tell them it's missing, but there hasn't been any direct communication to me that it's an issue. So anyway, I've never had possession of any illegal substance. As I told my father the other day, I've never even seen a hard drug in my entire life. I grew up pretty sheltered from that stuff, Wapsie Valley High School, and none of my friends did that in college. None of them. I never had a friend at all that did meth, cocaine, or heroin or anything like that. I guess I'm very fortunate that way that I grew up in that kind of society here in Iowa where you don't even see that stuff. I don't know about now. I know Owine, you see all that stuff over there, but Fairbank, Wapsie Valley High School, no one ever saw that stuff, or only the people that ventured outside of our communities to hang out with other people in other places to find that stuff. We didn't even have weed. I mean, there's a couple people that were known to have weed. I never saw it in high school. I never once saw weed in high school. I didn't see it, even when the TV show Fast Times at Ridgemont High came out. I was kind of a slow acting person in high school, so it could have looked like I was smoking weed. Plus, I was sleeping a lot because I didn't get good rest. It's a high functioning autism trait to not be able to sleep at night. That was number one. My parents fought a lot. That contributed to me not sleeping, and I had really severe allergies from all the farm stuff, which contributed to poor rest. And so I slept in English class and science or study hall a lot, and people thought I was on drugs because I was slow, like sometimes slow moving and stuff like that. But I was never into drugs. Never. In high school, I started drinking alcohol about, I experimented a couple times, like 15 once, and then like 15, between 14 and 16 twice I think I had alcohol, and then 17 I started drinking fairly regularly every weekend. 17, 18, not every weekend, but it was a regular occurrence. 17 to 18 years old, and then through my mid-20s I drank a lot between 19 and 23, 24, and then I started tapering it off. But I was never into drugs or marijuana at all. People handed me a marijuana cigarette or whatever you want to call them, joints or whatever. It's about 7 times in my life I participated in that, but it was never a huge draw for me. I would never wanted to seek out getting that. I never bought it, sold it, any kind of drug ever in my life. Never had possession of any. So any depiction of me having possession of any drugs, it was planted on me. And you have to suspect those people that found it. Same thing with any other major crimes. The only major crime I've committed is the OWI in 2016, February 28th, 2016. I never had another OWI stop. That was indicated a DUI or OWI stop after that there was one close to that. No, I've never had one since then. Never had a stop for OWI since February 28th, 2016. Actually, I was stopped a couple times when I had a couple drinks and I was only like 0.02. So I wasn't even close to the legal limit when I was stopped a couple times after that, close to that time. So if it was depicted, I had another OWI. It was like a New Year's Eve of either 2016 or 2017. They had to be 2016 New Year's Eve or 2015. Anyway, it was in Independence that I was stopped once for an OWI, and it was 0.02. So it was really low. So anyway, I still home, half mile north of Fairbank, Iowa on V68. It's been home since I got groceries on the 5th. I got home about 3 again. My father picked me up. We immediately went over to the red and white barn home. He stayed there. I drove the white 1993 white Suburban, not a late model one, around to get groceries by myself. Then he took off with his Dodge Ram within about half hour after stopping at the red and white barn home. I went and did my route of groceries and bank and UPS, then came back here at 3. That's all I did. Didn't meet up with anybody. A bunch of women were stalking me. They were about my age, I would guess, that age category. I didn't know a single one of them. They tried to look at me to get my attention, like they were trying to pause next to me to get my attention and stuff. And I don't trust people like that when they're doing that. So I didn't say much other than hi or excuse me or something like that, or give them a kind of half smile or whatever, because I didn't know them, and because I know a lot of times people are trying to stage lies when I'm just out getting groceries, necessity every about 2 to 4 weeks, depends on how much food I have when I get it. But then I'll gain about 3 to 5 pounds and then lose it toward the end, which again, same thing. And then I'll, shave or buzz my hair when I get, when I'm going to go out and get groceries often. But as I noted and took before and after pictures, that my hair was getting pretty scruffy because it was almost a month that I hadn't shaved between the time I got groceries. And well, it's 3 weeks, I guess, from the 15th. 15th to the 5th. So I hadn't shaved at all. No, it was the 11th I took photos. So it's 11th, 20, it's 19, 24 days that I hadn't shaved. So it looked quite different. I should have taken exactly the same angle on my face. It's pretty close enough that you can tell. Look at the ears and everything else. My father's 82, so it's not me and my father. And it's not me and my son. I haven't seen him since 1996, Austin. Signing off, 52 years old, green eyes, not blue, graduated Wapsie Valley High School in 1990. 10.7-inch hands. Measure the hands if someone claims to be me and wants to meet you. That's what I've been saying for 5 years now. That's why I've said it. I'm 6'1". My brother Ryan Heineman is 6'3". He's lived half mile southeast of me for 10 plus years with his wife and their 2 kids now. For several years they've had kids. He works at a manufacturing plant and farms part-time with my father. He is not a theorist, inventor, blogger, poet. I am.